evening, everyone. I am Joseph Santos together with my co-reporter, Rainier Dizon, Luis Roque, and Asar Fule. We will be your reporter for tonight. We will be discussing company design and justification for JRL Digital Marketing Corporation, a hypothetical digital marketing company and social media management company. We hope you will gain valuable insight from this presentation.
Number one, industry. Social media management, digital marketing services. Dito nga po is pinapakita kung anong klaseng negosyo ang JRL. Focus sila sa digital marketing sector, kasama sa mga serbisyo nila pag-handle ng social media account, paggawa ng content, ads, at pag-track ng data. Next.
Meron pa tayong kalahati.
Business model. Ito naman po ang model ng JRL ay service-based. Ibig sabihin sila kinukuha ng outsource ng ibang kumpanya para mag-manage ng kanilang social media para mas sumikat ang brand at dumami ang customer. Next. Workforce and compensation. Na inahati ang mga empleyado sa dalawa, 50% ay skilled workers at 50% ay semi-skilled. Ginagawa ito para mabalanse ang kalidad ng trabaho at ang gastos sa pasahod. Next. Expansion region and reason. Ito naman po is plano ng kumpanya ay magpalawak sa 3 bansa tulad ng USA, Germany at Philippines. Next. Justification for global expansion. Nandito naman is bakit kailangan natin mag-expand para hindi lang sa isang bansa umaasa ang resilience, para lumaki ang kita, makakuha ng global talent at magkaroon ng 24/7 operasyon dahil magkakaibang time zone. Yun lang. Thank you. Next.
I'm Joseph Santos, the next reporter. So, dito makikita sa table na nila namin yung pagkakaiba-iba ng minimum wage saka working hours and overtime regulations sa 3 country na napili namin pag-expandan ng hypothetical na business namin. As you can see sa minimum wage, makikita natin dito yung pagkakaiba-iba ng minimum na sinasahod ng isang tao sa kada bansa na ito. Katulad na sa USA, makikita natin ng minimum na sinasahod ng isang trabahante ay nasa $7.25 per hour. Kung i-ano natin ito, natin ito sa peso, nagkakalaga to ng 440 pesos 0.10 Philippine peso. So, higit na mas malaki yan sa sinasahod ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng isang araw. Sa Germany naman, makikita natin na ang sinasahod ng isang trabahante, ang minimum na sinasahod ng isang trabahante sa Germany ay nagkakalaga ng 13.90 pounds per hour. Kung mataas na yung sa USA, mas mataas pa ito kapag tinransfer natin ito into peso. Sa Philippines naman, sa NCR, ang minimum na sinasahod ng isang normal na trabahante sa Pilipinas sa NCR ay nagkakalaga ng 695. Sorry, mali nakalagay dito, pero 695 ngayon. Pero kung titignan natin, kung i-compare natin yung tatlo na yan, makikita natin na mas mababa ang sinasahod ng isang Pilipino kaysa sa ibang bansa. Next, sa working hours and overtime regulation. Ang standard na oras na pinapasok ng isang trabahante sa USA ay umaabot ng 40 hours per week. Sa overtime paid naman is nagkakaroon ng nadadagdagan ng 1.5 times the regular rate for non-exempt employees. Sa Germany naman, maximum na yung 8 hours per day. Pwede itong madagdagan ng 2 oras, umabot ng 10 hours. So, katulad ng sa USA, nag-average din ng 40 hours per week ang trabahante sa Germany. Sa overtime is usually compensated with time off or a 25% premium. Sa Philippines naman, same with Germany, ang normal na working hours natin dito is 8 hours per day. Pero pwede itong madagdagan. Umabot ng maximum na 48 hours ang pinapasok ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng isang linggo. Sa overtime naman, kapag nag-overtime ng isang Pilipino, nadadagdagan niya sahod niya ng 1.25 times. Nakarate ito sa every hour. Nadadagdagan siya every hour. Next, mandatory benefits. Papakita naman dito yung benefits na nare-receive ng isang trabahante sa tatlong bansa na ito. As of early 2026, the federal exempt salary threshold remains $684 per week. After courts block up ng 2025 increase. Sa Germany naman, employees receive at least 20 to 24 days of paid vacation. The right to disconnect is strictly enforced, preventing after-hours digital contact. Sa Philippines naman, 13-month pay mandatory payment of 1 out of 12 of the total basic salary paid by December 24. At night differential, 10% premium for work between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Standard for agency service, US and EU time zones. Next, employer's contribution. Sa USA, employers must pay 7.65% in FICA taxes and federal state unemployment taxes. Sa Germany, employers pay roughly 19.6% towards social security, including pension insurance, health insurance plus half of the supplementary contribution, and unemployment care insurance. Lastly, sa Philippines, meron tayo ditong SSS, PhilHealth at Pag-ibig. Last, employment restriction. Sa USA, highly regulated on misclassification, calling a full-time digital marketer a contractor when they function as an employee carries heavy penalties. Sa Germany, termination is difficult after a 6-month probationary period due to the Protection Against Dismissal Act. Last, sa Philippines, the security of tenure make it illegal to terminate employees without just or authorized cause. Example, serious misconduct or redundancy. So, ito yung mga legal basis for each country. Sa United States, labor relations are primarily governed at the federal level, though state-specific acts often impose higher standards. Sa Germany, German labor law is a combination of statutory acts and a strong system of collective bargaining. Sa Philippines naman, employment is strictly regulated through a centralized code and a specific Social Security Act.
Compensation package design. So first is base salary, pay before deduction or benefits. Sa US is high base salary, about 65K average. Next is Germany, medium base salary, about 42K average. Plus is Philippines, lowest base salary about 30 to 45K. Next is employer cost. So dito is how much the company pays on top of salary. First is USA. Employer contribute around 10 to 13% more. There sa Germany is employer cost is higher, around 20 to 21%. And the Philippines naman is employer cost is lower to the moderate, around 10 to 14, plus additional month-based items. Next is employee deduction. US po is employee deduction are about 13 to 20% reduction from salary, like taxes, mandatory contribution. Next is Germany. Deductions are higher. Show 30 to 45 total percent. And sa Philippines is deduction are 18 to 15%. Sa benefits naman, benefit strength, US benefits are moderate, not as comprehensive compared to public system. Sa Germany naman is benefits are very strong because of the public system, and Philippines is benefits are moderate. Sa cost naman nila, efficiency, US is low cost efficiency. And sa Germany is medium. And Philippines is higher cost efficiency, lower employer cost, and lower salary level. Next po. Next is financial and currency analysis. This section makes the country comparable by converting their salary. Exchange rate assumption used. 1 USD equal to 61 and 1 euro is equal to 72. Base currency and conversation sa US is base salary 13,800 month. Convert to the Philippines pesos 3,800 multiply 61 equal 231,800 month. And Germany base salary is euro 3,500 month. Convert to peso po is 3,500 multiply 72 equal 255,600 month. And sa Philippines naman, base salary is 40,000 month. Okay na. Next po. Next na, next. Huh? Bakit ganito? Next is ano to? Method? Method ba? Total monthly payroll cost. So, method, add employer contribute on top of base salary. Sa US po is employer cost plus 12%. Sa Germany, employer cost plus 20%. And sa Philippines is plus 13%. Consumption total po nila monthly is US total po. Then, sa global total monthly payroll cost total, 659,061. So overall po is 611,536 per month. Next na.
Next is financial and currency analysis. The scenario monthly cost change. The first is normal. 600 611,536. And the Philippine remittances by negative 10% is 6,608 600 668,170. And the change is plus 56,634. And the PHP strength by 10% is 554,902. And the change was negative 56,634. Next slide. Strategic compensation decision. A chosen approach by hybrid approach. And the general digital marketing adopts hybrid compensation approach, which combines elements of both standardized and localized pay system. This means that while the company maintains a consistent global framework for roles, job, job levels, and performance standards, compensation is adjusted based on local labor market conditions in each country. For justification is the first is cost efficiency, the second is legal compliance, and the third is talent competitiveness, and the fourth is eternal equity. That's it po. The next is the risk analysis. The first risk analysis is legal risk in digital marketing arise from failure to comply with rapidly evolving consumers protection, privacy, and advertising laws. The second is financial risk. This risk may cause losses to GRM digital marketing, leads to loss of income and resulting in losing customers. The third is talent retention. Is digital marketing moves faster than the workforce can often keep up, leading to shortage in specific skills. The fourth is operational risk. This risk system is stem from internal process failure, technology issue, or poor management.
That's all po.
That's important.
Okay na, Kim.